It's Wellness Nerd Out time! What's up, you guys? Happy Wellness Nerd Out time. And today, I want to talk about some really cool new research on how our gut microbial cells actually can communicate genetic information via a new mechanism that they didn't know could be applied to nutrient uptake. And before we do it, though, we got to say happy birthday, Giovanni Fraporti. Happy birthday, Jungalo. And happy birthday, Steve Flynn. Love both you guys. This one is absolutely for you. We'll talk about them at the end. But let's start talking about this really interesting new stuff that just came out. And study published at done at UC Riverside, published in the journal Cell Reports, showed that actually bacterial cells in our gut, our gut microbiota, are capable of communicating genetic information that will help them to better absorb vitamins, give them the ability in the first place to do so, which is super fascinating because previously we had thought that this concept of the jumping gene between bacterial cells was just limited to really examples like bacteria sharing genetic information in order to maintain resistance against antibiotics. But what they did in this study was they isolated bacterial cells, gut microbiome cells that were able to absorb vitamin B12. They had the specific alleles in their genetic code that were responsible for the proteins necessary to transport B12 into the bacterial cell. And what they did was they took half of cells with this ability, and then the other half did not have this ability, and they wanted to see, what would happen because it's necessary to get the B12 as it is an essential vitamin for them to survive, right? So as it is for so many other cells in nature. Now, what happened was super fascinating. Actually, over time, these cells, which they knew did not have in their genetic code, once again, those alleles are a form of a gene necessary for the production of proteins that will allow them to absorb B12 in the cell, to transport B12 into the microbial cell. They survived, the ones that did not have the gene. So what must have been happening here is that this genetic information was transferred to the other bacterial cells, so then they became able to absorb the B12. Super interesting how adaptive these bacterial cells are. And what they did was they would create a sex pilus through which the information was transferred. All right, and again, this jumping gene theory, is nothing new, but in this application, in the sense of nutrient uptake and vitamin absorption, it certainly is novel. So, you guys, that's what we got for you today. I hope you found it interesting. What we want to talk about tomorrow are ways not to destroy our gut microbiome so that we still have some good microbial cells left that can transfer that valuable genetic information to our other microbial cells. So we're going to talk about avoiding things like alcohol and, excessive antibiotic use, things like that. But before we go today, we certainly have to say happy birthday, Giovanni Fraporti. I do that because you're the most Italian person I know, and I love that because I'm Italian too, so it's great. Half German as well. But hey, man, I love you, dude. This one is absolutely for you. One thing, anybody knows if they know you is that you're an incredibly hard worker, Joe. He came here. I mean, he's a modest guy. Would never put it this way to you, so I'll tell you. Came here from Italy, and he couldn't speak English well. No, she the English, as you would always say yourself. So I'm not making fun of you because you would say that, so it's okay. But he came here, couldn't speak great English, and he goes right into a doctorate program, and not only passes, but with flying colors, with a 4.0 GPA, ends up being valedictorian and everything. And man, I'm just so proud of you, dude. Your work ethic is unbelievable. It was a pleasure to play rugby for you. Being my coach towards the latter end of my Palmer career. And I want you to know that I respect you and love you, and this one is absolutely for you. Happy birthday, Giovanni Fraporti. Happy birthday, Steve Flynn. Happy birthday, you big, strong bastard. How you doing, man? I hope you're doing great. Haven't seen you in a bit, but I'm sure you're doing big things. Anytime you hung out with Steve Flynn, he was always cracking jokes. Funniest guy in the room. That is just so laid back. You love life. You enjoy every day. Anytime I've seen you, at least it's been like that. And so if you have any problems deep down, you're good at not showing them. But dude, you're a great guy and a great athlete as well. Steve Flynn was always one of the best basketball players, and we would play in that league, that CYO, when we were kids. You're always great. And then we played soccer together, and you played football too. And I never got to play rugby with you, but I'm sure that would have been a hell of a lot of fun. And this one is for you as well. So it's forever. Both of your days book in the both of your days book your days in the book of When Wellness. There we go. You guys have a fantastic rest of your night, and we'll see you tomorrow. If you want to talk about anything, you shoot me a message. I would be happy to talk about it if it's relevant to health or something cool, scientific, or improving people's lives. So have a great night. Thank you. We'll see you then.